Hello team, and welcome to the next video on the iCam channel. My name is Dana Gerald. If you are not familiar with me, I'm the owner of this channel. For you, the iCam team, what I've got is a video that's about memorizing. Actually, I prefer to call it learning lines. I don't think memorizing is really what you should do as an actor. I think that you should learn the lines, learn the scene, learn why you're saying everything, and then what you're saying will come naturally.
Memorizing?
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Alright. So, I'm here with Melanie. Melanie, what's your last name?
Stone.
Melanie Stone, in case you didn't hear because of the door slamming. And also, we have Andrew. Andrew, what's your last name?
Johnson.
Andrew Johnson.
So I'll scoot in here.
Yeah, man, we're all soldiers. And so we were talking about memorization because we have pages and pages of long dialogue scenes to memorize. If you can see all that yellow.
Well, these guys do. I have just a couple lines. But yeah.
All he gets to do is... Well, we won't talk about what you get to do. Yeah, exactly. So, Melanie told me that what she's doing to memorize her stuff is making notes. Like, what are you doing?
I have a hard time. Should I talk to the camera to you?
Yeah, it's a camera too.
I have a hard time memorizing just straightforward, just like memorizing without having a purpose. So I have to go through and look at the lines and ask myself, why am I saying this? Like, what is the point of me saying this? That's really the only way for me for it to stick. Otherwise, it doesn't stick.
Andrew, like you do that too? Do you think of like?
Sometimes what I like to do is I read it 100 times. I will read it just over and over and over until it starts to stick in my brain. And that's kind of how I memorize. And then after that, just kind of go in and fill all the gaps with all the relationships and
Nice.
what I'm fighting for and all that good stuff. So yeah,
that's good. And actually, there's two great schools of thought. I've apparently, like Anthony Hopkins does it your way, and like Denzel Washington, a lot of other actors do it your way. And, you know, it's kind of like, you know, you do whichever way works best for you. What I'm doing is kind of like a combination of both. Actually, I'm reading them a bunch of times, and I'm doing something that I don't usually do. I'm writing them down, because that way it's kind of like they become my own. In the process of writing the lines, it's kind of like I remember them a little better. It's just a quick cheat kind of thing.
I've actually heard a great method that you can do where you do write it down, and what you do is you write it down and you leave out spaces of like words and stuff like that.
Oh.
So then you write it out, and then you go back to it, and then when you go through it, you're having to memorize those words that you left out. So then it kind of helps just
connect the dots.
Exactly.
Oh, that's cool. I should try that. That's good. So, anyway, so that's some memorization trips, and it's lunchtime.
Yes.
The lovely Iffer's got us going.
It's so good.
Fine, thank you. Yes. Make sure you find out what works best for you. There's the Denzel way, there's the Anthony Hopkins way, and there's the combo of the two. There you go.
So I'm going to go into a little bit of detail about this video. The reason why we remember lines better when we learn the motivation behind them has to do with the way a typical person's brain works. And you can learn this by just taking this quick quiz. Think about your own memories of your childhood. So what I want you to do, pause the video, go get a pen and a piece of paper, come right back. Okay, now it's time for the quiz. Now I want you to write down the answers to these questions. Let's see if you get these questions right. Number 1. What were you wearing during your first kiss? Number 2. What is the name of the person from the DMV who gave you your first driving test? If it took you more than one chance to pass the test, what was the name of the last person who conducted your test when you passed? And question number 3, the last one. What is your first girlfriend or boyfriend's favorite color? The first girlfriend or boyfriend you had, what was their favorite color? Okay, now if you're like me, I can't give you the answer to any one of these questions, but I can tell you the feelings that I had associated with these memories. And I'm sure you can remember what it felt like as well to get your first kiss, to pass your driving test, or to have a girlfriend or boyfriend. That's why learning lines works better than memorizing lines. By learning why your character says the lines, you attach motive, and motives are emotionally driven. And as we just saw on the quiz, emotions stick with us a lot longer than details. So the best thing to do is to start attaching emotions to our dialogue as soon as possible. So that's why we base our memorization on analyzing the script, the beats, and paying attention to the lines that the other people are giving and your response to those other characters. That's why it makes it a lot easier to learn your lines, because when you listen in the scene, you'll have an emotional response, and that will trigger the memory of the lines, and it'll just come right up out of you. And it'll also be motivated. This works well for auditions also. That's it for now. Subscribe and stay tuned for more about the Anthony Hopkins method of learning dialogue and preparing for scenes. Thanks for learning. Subscribe and stay tuned for more videos coming soon. Please feel free to interact, comment. I will reply to anything as quickly as I can, as long as it's not something that's obscene or something crazy like that. Anybody who really reaches out to me on Facebook, on YouTube, on any of my social media sites will get a response. Oh, and there's my lovely screensaver, which means it's time for me to go.